6 o'clock. All right, I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Old Lyme Wetlands and Inland Watercourses Commission to order. Today is Tuesday, July 22nd, and it's 6 o'clock p.m. We're meeting in the meeting hall at town. We have a packed agenda today. So before the meeting started, we decided on a sidewalk date, which was the date?
August 5th.
August 5th. And the order of the new business items for sidewalks. So I'll read those aloud as we discuss the new business. So the first item on the agenda is application 25-20 for 50 Boston Post Road. The applicants are Philip and Susan Beckman. This is for the demolition of an existing detached garage and portion of the existing 3-bedroom year-round house, the construction of a new attached garage, and addition and modify the existing roof line. Is anyone here from that application today? Hi, come on up. I know, it's a lot to bring up.
Okay, so hi, my name is Caroline O'Hagan. I'm here from Indigo Land Design, representing Phil and Susan Beckman for this application. So this property is situated on Boston Post Road. The wetlands are not located on the property, but it is within 100 feet. As you already mentioned, the applicant is proposing to demolish a portion of the existing dwelling. It's a 3-bedroom dwelling. And the detached garage, which is shaded in yellow. All of that to be removed will be in yellow. Sorry. And they're proposing to construct an attached garage with living space above. And there's going to be some minor fill and grading just for the back patio and garage. Any questions I can take now to, you wanted to do that before the second.
Any questions? So is August 5th at 5:45 doable for the site walk?
Yeah.
Okay. And will the wetland 100-foot mark be marked during the wetlands? Like if flags are available just to kind of show?
I believe the wetlands were flagged Sailor surveys from 2024, November 2024, so they should still be there. And that is one thing I forgot to mention. The wetlands are in green and the 100-foot upland review area is shaded in pink. So, but yeah, 5:45 August 5th.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna open this here because I'm also.
Oh, perfect. All right. So number 2 on the agenda is the WEO update for 8 Whippoorwill Road activity within the regulated area.
Yeah, when we were out across the street, John Easton noticed that there was activity at 8 Whippoorwill. So I went out and took some pictures, passed around to you folks. I did send a letter just saying, basically, this looks like it is regulated. Please come in and talk to me about it. I have not heard back. It's not that huge a deal, but it is, again, within 100 feet. The shed is closest to the wetlands. I don't know exactly when the shed got there. It doesn't look precisely new. And they cut down about 4 or 5 trees. And then the site has a garage that you go down into. And then they did this around the garage. So I just sort of passed the photos around for everyone to take a look at. On my list of horrible wetlands violations, it's not really up there. But again, I did want to sort of come back to you folks and say, I have sent a letter to them asking them to come in. And I will try and follow up and get a permit filed for anything, copy of the letter. And I will update you further on this. I don't really see myself sort of going to litigation on this sort of thing, but again, it is important to come in for a permit. So I did want to update the commission because this was something that, again, John Michigan specifically said, I saw this, please take a look at it. And that's where we are with it. Anybody have any questions about it after you have a chance to look at the photos there?
Any questions so far?
No.
Sounds good. Thank you, Eric.
Not a problem. Just put them back in the file when you're done. Yeah. Yeah, just to clarify, pretty much the entire property there is within the 100 foot upland review area, so it's hard to do almost anything on the site without some triggering some sort of review. So again, all of this is theoretically regulated activity, and I will follow up with them to make sure they come into it.
Great.
Eric, have we regulated this property before?
Not to my knowledge, we have no
Okay.
files on it. And again, it was 453s. I had no zoning record of the shed ever having been put there, but obviously it's a relatively new shed, so that's something on the zoning side I'd like to follow up on as well. And that's the shed is closest to the wetlands, probably about 10 or 15 feet from the wetlands.
Now, did you send them certified mail
I used to have them regular.
or regular?
Because this wasn't a cease and desist order, it wasn't a show cause thing. It was just, usually at the first round, I just sort of send a letter saying,
A friendly?
hi, I noticed this. Can you please just let me know what's going on with it?
Okay.
So certified mail tends to be a little more confrontational and people get a little more defensive about it. So I figured just an inquiry letter saying, I noticed this, please let me know what's going on. Okay.
That's right. Thank you. All right, the third item under new business is application 25-21 for 129-1 Whippoorwill Road. The Open Space Commission is the applicant, and they want to reopen the trail and road for public access and add a 25-foot boardwalk over a wet area of the trail to make it passable. Is anyone here from the commission today?
Greg couldn't make it tonight, so we asked him to speak.
Can you introduce yourself for the record?
Overall, I live in Mile Creek, Greg.
Thank you.
I'm on the Open Space Committee. The property that we're talking about is the Ames Preserve. It's about 200 acres. It has multiple trails. There's one trail in particular that we're interested in reopening. It's crucial for a cross-town trail. It's the Woods Road. It had been existing for over decades. And about 5 years ago, it got flooded with beaver activity. There's a picture of what it looked like and any of that around but recently, the lower beaver dams they had blocked a culvert on Whippoorwill and on under 95 to create this flooding. They were removed and the flooding just subsided. So the trail is widely, almost completely dry, except we need to rebuild a bridge where, if any of you have been in there's an old culvert. They've kind of widened it out and to make it safe for the public. So about a 15-foot bridge. And then there's a wet area that we would just require a boardwalk. So I know you see that when you do the walkthrough and make a decision on that. As I said, the importance for us is that it opens up a trail from almost the old Lime Inn all the way to McCulloch Farm. There's a access on by Pfeiffer's across Whippoorwill to McCulloch, and we're working on other access across town. So it would make a great long distance trail, which is sort of the gold standard for open space towns with trails.
So where is the best place to meet you for the sidewalk?
It would be on Whippoorwill Road. We can open the gate and get some parking in there. And we've had support from Ron McCarthy and Fred here, and Russ Bach lives next door to that. He probably would allow parking there too.
So that meeting would be at 6 on the sidewalk would be at 6 o'clock on August 5th.
6 o'clock on August 5th. Was it August 4th or August 5th?
August 5th.
August
So-
5th.
Well, we'll let everyone know.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And I'll leave that with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bill, did you, I haven't seen all the information that you submitted other than the application form. Have you submitted some sketches about?
We did have sketches and pictures in there and so forth. I can email copies if we need to.
Fallon has it as an exhibit of the record now.
Okay.
You can scan it.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. All right, moving on to item number 4 for application 25-22 at 16 Townwoods Road for Rodney and Deborah Hornbeck. for the construction of a 24-foot by 24-foot detached accessory building. Is anyone here from that application? Hi.
For the record, again, Caroline O'Hagan from Indigo Land Design. I'm also here on behalf of Rod and so we actually visited this property earlier this year. See a few familiar faces from that sidewalk. We have Millbrook running right through the property, wetlands on either side. And the majority of the property is taken up by the 100-foot upland review area. There was concern, so post approval from you guys last time. They have removed the trees since and the buildings. So all of the yellow shaded buildings have since been removed. And there was some concern by both the property owners and contractor about high groundwater being so close to the lake and Millbrook. So they decided to nix the basement altogether. There was living space as well as a bedroom down in the basement. So they are proposing to remove this shed that they had previously approved and construct this 24 by 24 building in its place, just to replace that floor area. Nothing really changes with the septic system. The only thing is we're running a line for just a bathroom, no shower, no kitchen, nothing like that. One question you may be asking yourself is, well, why is it not in front of the house, out of the upland review area? We cannot physically put an accessory building in front of the main house, so that is why. So, if there are any questions, I can assess those now.
And just as a matter of full disclosure, Joe did ask me if I could handle this as a minor modification. I indicated that a 24 by 24 building was kind of too big for a minor modification, which is why you're seeing it again. And again, we're setting it for a sidewalk, up to you whether you think a new sidewalk is required under the circumstances.
Eric, administratively, do we just modify the existing permit that we
This is a
have?
new application.
Yeah, but it seems like that's,
Either way you want to do it, I'm happy to, I mean, it's going to require a new legal notice. We can attach it to the old number if you want to attach it to the old number.
that's what I'm thinking. You'd have one less file.
From an electronic standpoint, it's not really going to matter because it all goes to the same electronic file anyway. So whether we give it one number or two numbers, it's all going to the same place. So,
For the record, it wasn't just Eric. They ran it by me and I said,
Oh.
yes, new permit, just
Okay.
because it is a larger building. That was what I was
It
more
is,
comfortable
yeah.
with, but I'm open to suggestions of the commission.
Yeah, I just thought administratively, and you know, if you had, especially when a permit is still viable.
Mm.
And it's,
Michael, I'm happy to modify the existing permit if that's
no, I'm
That's
just,
easier.
maybe after we see it.
from a standpoint of paperwork and record keeping. I don't know
Doesn't
that it
matter.
makes that much difference. They may get a few dollars back in application fees if we modify, because that is a lower price for modification of existing permit than there is for new permit. But other than that, not much difference.
That was my only administrative question.
Would everyone benefit still from going to the site again?
I don't see it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to.
Okay, so we'll save you a site walk. We'll only see you once that night. Great, so, thank you so much. All right. And then moving on to the last item of new business, it's item 25-23 at 40 Flat Rock Hill Road for Michael and Elizabeth Lemaire for the installation of a gravel access drive on the property with associated utilities for a future home. Is anyone here from? Hi, did I pronounce your last name all right? Lamar.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
You know, we're trying to audio tape it, so I need to-
yes.
Thank you. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about your project?
Well, we will be, the request tonight is for the beginning of building a home. So we're asking for the driveway access. And it doesn't, it comes within the 100-foot barrier for, well, I'm not exactly sure on the
You're
language.
fine.
But
It's within 100 feet of the wetland.
yes,
Perfect. Okay. So, are you available August 5th at
6:15?
6:15?
Yeah.
Perfect. So, a couple of the commission members will just come out to view the site to kind of get an understanding of the lay of the land and what it looks like.
Right.
And then at the next wetlands meeting, we'll be able to ask you more pointed questions about the driveway access unless the team believes that it can be administratively done. And then we can save you that, but that will be discussed at the August 5th sidewalk at your property.
Okay, all right, that's great.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
For the site walk, if you could have just kind of the driveway location marked out, that'd be great. Just a couple of flags or stakes for paint or something.
Yeah.
So
And I know the wetland flags are still there. and-
Perfect. thank you.
Okay, will do.
Thank you. All right, moving on to old business. The first item is application 25-11 for 9 Tanamaheeg Road. Carrie Meltzer for the application for pond maintenance and restoration, and this is an extension request.
They have submitted an extension request. We cannot extend it further beyond next month's meeting. However, you do have the ability to extend it at least as far as the August meeting. So they have submitted a request in writing to do so.
Have to make a motion or anything, or you just,
Yeah, you should probably make a motion to just, because this is an actual extension request, that you accept the extension request, and the matter will be tabled until the August meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the extension.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Great. Unanimously passes. Thank you. All right, item number 2 is application 25-15 for 240 Whippoorwill Road for Alan Christine Bond, the application to replace the existing pavilion.
Good evening. I'm Bob Doan, here on behalf of Al and Christian Bond regarding their farm at 240 Whippoorwill. And they would like to replace a existing gazebo with a 20 by 30 pavilion. It'll be built on piers, as is the gazebo. They want to remove the gazebo. And this is a farm building related to their Christmas tree farm that they'll be developing. And we feel that the activity, even though it's within 100 feet, this is a man-made pond, but we had it flagged and located. I've been before you on activity for the driveway. Excuse me, coming into the Christmas tree farm for the stream crossing. I think that was handled administratively also, wasn't it?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. So that was also farming activity. And so that's it.
I mean, this came in originally, as you may recall, as an actual application for a wetlands permit. They have since now shifted ground and they're saying that they should be exempt as farming activity. The question for the commission to consider is whether the gazebo is integral to the farm operation. And again, you have, Bob's presentation regarding where it is and what it's there for. So if you believe it is exempted from wetlands activity or for wetlands permit requirements, you just need to make a determination of no jurisdiction and a motion to that effect.
What is the definition of farming activity in our reg?
Well,
For the record.
for the record, let me, yeah. Okay, so farming, just says shall be consistent with the definition as noted in section 11Q of the General Statutes, which is very, very broad. The sorts of activities that they're actually doing on site would be considered farming. The question then again, it comes to whether the gazebo is, let me read the section out of your regs, 41A. The provision of subdivision shall not include the erection of buildings not directly related to the farming operation. So again, the question is this directly related to the farming operation? So that's the question. I highlighted that section of the regs for you because that's really what we're looking at this evening as far as the review and the determination.
So, Mr. Jones, how would this be related to the farming operation of the?
Well,
property?
it's to accommodate those that come to visit the Christmas tree farm and view it. And they may have, they'll be able to meet and do their transaction to buy the tree in the pavilion.
Yeah, but do we have a picture of what it looks like? Is it open sided? Is
It's
it?
open
So
sided.
it's just a roof on posts?
It's very similar to the gazebo.
Okay.
Gazebo being, I think it's hexagonal, is not efficient as far as the shape goes. So we'd rather have a rectangular one, and the gazebo is in need of repair. Instead of repairing it, we'll just remove it and build a pavilion that's open on all four sides. And it will serve as a shelter and area to purchase the Christmas trees.
Have they been using the existing one for that purpose?
I'm not sure. It's there for it. The Christmas tree farm is in its early stages
So it's not,
of developing. It's not functioning
okay.
yet. So it's the goal to have the Christmas tree farm up and running. And
Yeah.
this will serve it.
This might help the commission's consideration. 11Q is a very long definition
Yeah.
that defines agriculture and farming under the general statutes. But there's a provision, the term farm includes farm buildings and accessory buildings thereto. Nurseries, orchards, ranges, greenhouses, hoop houses, and other structures and structures used primarily and as an incident to ordinary farming operations, the sale of agricultural or horticultural commodities. So it does include buildings used for sale, which I think this kind of seems like it falls into.
I would make a motion to no jurisdiction then, because I think it pretty much is word for word what the definition is.
I'll second that.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passes. Thank you so much.
And for what it's worth, we are still doing the silk fence, and everything like that. So,
We
Thank you.
figured. You're always on top of that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Never applied that part of the statute before, so that was interesting.
Look at that. There's a first for everything. All right. Moving on to item number 3 under old business. That's application 25-16 for 234 Whippoorwill Road for Timothy Sekla. The application to replace the existing outbuilding shed with a larger structure, approximately 16 by 36 feet.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm gonna say a lot of work going on in Whippoorwill Road, it seems.
Yes.
So fairly crude. I can pass this out if anyone would like, but my interest is in demoing my existing outbuilding, my existing shed to replace with a larger one. My current one is about 12 by 12. Looking to replace with something of more practical use size, which is 16 by 36. It's approximately 75 feet or so from the listed wetlands. I also I have a number of drawings about the actual construction. That's what I'm looking to do. It's going to be a monolithic pour with about a 4-inch foundation.
Any questions from this application? None. Does anyone want to make a motion?
It's a real flat lot with I don't really see any risk for erosion, so I'd make a motion to approve as submitted.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions or objections? Seeing none, it passes.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with your project.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for coming in. Great. Item number 4 under old business is for application 25-17, 64 Grassy Hill Road. This is Fettis Engineering. An application for proposed 12 by 45 foot first floor addition, a 370 square foot second story addition, plus a 398 square foot loft and a new septic system. Is anyone here from this application?
I don't see anyone here from Fettis Engineering, but My name is Norton Wheeler, and I am with the Mystic River Building Company, and we will be, we plan to build the project, assuming that it's approved. Greg submitted an application for the new plan, which basically has a 12-foot addition on the water side of the house, just on the first floor only. The family lives in Glastonbury. This has been like a summer home for them. They're at some point going to be retiring in the next few years. They have 3 sons that are all in their 20s that are getting married and going to have children and so forth. So they need to add another bedroom. So we're adding another bedroom on the second floor and a bonus room over the garage, which would be used as like a playroom, a pool room, that sort of thing. So it is, we are getting a little closer to the lake. But beyond that, I don't think that there's any negative impact. We are replacing the septic system entirely. And so that would obviously be upgraded to handle the 4 bedrooms.
I didn't see the septic system on the application. Do you know where that was going in relation to the house?
I believe it's on the notes in your agenda.
It's in the notes on the agenda, but seeing it on the plan, is what Tom is referring to. Thank you.
Okay, I didn't see that at the sidewalk. Okay.
Currently,
Feel free to gather.
the septic tank is in very close proximity to the back of the house. And so where the new addition is going to be, it would basically be on top of the tank. And so we're changing the flow out of the house, going to the side yard directly, and then replacing the system entirely, tank and leaching field.
I didn't see that sheet there, so. New information.
Thank you. Does anybody want another copy or is that sufficient? Rather than one whole thing. Thank you so much. Were there any questions from the site walk that anyone had?
Where the septic system was one of the questions. There wasn't anybody there to really talk to when we were there.
Got it. Okay. Any questions? Seems pretty straightforward. Okay, I will make a motion to approve of this application with this additional sheet that was provided to us regarding the location of the septic.
I'll second that.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Just
Okay.
to say that, it would have standard sedimentation erosion controls to protect the
Yeah,
lake, right?
standard condition, I will go out there and inspect when I get started to make sure the erosion controls were in place.
Well, the silt fence is all on there.
Yeah, that's the only condition
Okay.
I think we need.
Alan's been pretty good about keeping me going back out and re-inspecting this stuff, so it's been good
job.
chatter.
So with that provision,
You're
I'm comfortable, so we can vote.
perfect. Okay, so I'll just do that again, just for clarity. So I made the motion with the regular conditions. And then, sorry, who seconded? Okay, perfect. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Seeing none, it passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations. All right, item number 5 under old business is 16 Neck Road and 2 Sharon Drive for a discussion of the status of the violation and appropriate next steps.
At the invitation to the property owner, I was out there yesterday. There were 2 representatives, Jacobson's office and Richard Snarsky, who was the applicant's engineer, soil scientist rather. We did go to see what progress has been made on the site. The only real significant difference from the last time you folks have seen it is at this point, there's now grass growing to help stabilize the soils. The other issues, the other items that were raised in your order, the other items that were raised in the May 25th site walk notes from Jacobson have not been addressed. At this point, Snarski did go into the wetlands and with his auger took measurements of how deep the silt is in the wetlands at this point in time. Closest to where you guys saw it going in, the silt is 4 inches deep. It then sort of tapers off as it gets several hundred feet in, so that by the time you get reach the other end of the wetlands, there is silt, but it is relatively small amount. Again, at this point in time, we don't have any of the things that were required. Again, the applicant was supposed to come in with a bond and all the rest of that. We have not seen any of that, new plans, the as-built for the foundation. So I have invited the applicant here to speak on this matter. And again, we have the attorney here to, your attorney here to discuss what are our next best steps. So.
Good evening. So as he mentioned, we had the engineers there. I had to come out just to take another look because since you've seen it last, we regraded everything on both sides of the road and planted seed. And we actually had to cut it today with the lawnmower. I brought some pictures so you can take a look. The engineer made some recommendations on that temporary culvert that we have to direct the water. He wanted additional check dams with silt fence and hay bales. Today we added 7 of them, and I've got pictures here. Right now, unless we have some major storms, we don't see any kind of silt getting any worse for the wetlands. And as he mentioned, Richard Snarski was there, and one of the recommendations that Eric had made last time was a 20-foot buffer, and I went over it with Richard, and he said it's not necessary. Right now, from the silt fence, we have 40 feet at the closest point, and over 120 feet at the closest point. So the 20-foot buffer is not needed. However, Eric and I will work out something to put on the deed for that particular lot, so that we can prevent whoever buys that property, that home, to do any work within that 20-foot buffer.
Yeah, I asked that the area on site be flagged in some permanent way so that people know not to cut that vegetation down, and that the deed be noted that that area is conservation buffer as required by the Wetlands Commission. If Snarski is saying we don't need to rip it out and replant it, I'll trust Richard Snarski's position on that, but I do want to make sure that the vegetated buffer 20 feet does remain, even after the property is sold, so that there is no further interference with the wetlands that are just towards the neck road side of that property.
So I have some pictures here if you'd like to take a look at what it looks like now. Everything's green, including the big mountain of dirt is all grown in. So but right now, Richard Snarski is preparing this a drawing for me, telling me where we need to go in and dig out by hand the wetland section, which is a lot smaller than what we all thought. He says where it's 4 inches or less, it's already growing in, so he doesn't have a problem with that. But he's going to provide me a drawing to do whatever we got to do. And as you can see, we have been keeping up on it. It's been a tough job. Since we started it and we started doing the work, we messed up on the road by using somebody that said that he knew everything about doing roads. And all the publicity got us in trouble with the bank, so we lost our financing. We're in the process of refinancing again right now. And we're very close, probably within the next 2 weeks. We should be starting back up again in full force. And I know that regarding the bond, that If it's not paid, there's gonna be liens and what have you. That would just put a damper on the project and basically put us out of business, so.
Again, as the commission will recall, they had the opportunity to come in for half the amount if they could demonstrate some progress toward meeting any of your conditions by last month's meeting. And they did not do that. They did not show up. So that's why the bond went from 50 to 100. So up to you folks how you want to handle this. But again, there of the issues raised by your order and of the issues that has been raised by Jacobson's office on their site visits, we have not seen much in the way of progress. And again, at this point, the silt fencing around the entrance to the wetlands has not been refreshed. The hay bales that they put to block the catch basins are the same hay bales were there originally, and there's now large amounts of mud that is accumulated against those hay bales. The catch basins themselves have not been cleaned out. I have pictures on my phone of the retention basin. It is now largely filled in with mud and is going to need to be cleaned out. There's just a lot of work that is required to get this site back into feasible condition. And if it's not done properly, we need a bond to call to make it happen. So I would encourage you not to let the bond go away to a large degree, because again, should this not happen properly, we will be needing monies to go and restore the site. And I will sort of leave it at that. I've said my piece on it.
Well, I mean, everything that you just mentioned is all work in progress. I mean, the job is, as far as the catch basins, we know we have to clean them out in order to get satisfaction with the engineer. We know we have to dig out the pond. This is not a road right now that's open to the public. It's never will be. It's a private road. So, and I know we have to build it to standards, but we're working right now on the job. It's not like we're done and we're saying, okay, we're done. Give us our.
But okay, but by then it'll be too late to get a bond through. The point is we get a bond now so that when you are done, if it's not done properly, we can restore the property.
So thank you both for that. So I have two questions to you. Where were you at the last meeting? And why haven't the catch basins been cleaned in the interim month?
There's no need to clean them now. We still have another 800 feet of road to build. So why am I cleaning catch basins now? I still have to do another layer of blacktop. I have to clean the catch basins. I have to actually fulfill the inspections that the engineer wants, which is digging out the pipe and refilling them with proper gravel. So I have a lot of work to do yet. But, cleaning catch basins, digging out the pond. Right now, my goal is to keep the runoff from going into the wetlands, which, as you can see by the pictures, nothing's going to get down that gully anymore.
You did that today, right?
I did that this morning.
Okay, so you
I
had 2 months and you did it.
Well, I had the meeting
morning.
yesterday. I had the meeting yesterday with the engineers and they gave me these recommendations. And I did what they wanted. And I hired Snarcy to come in and make an evaluation. Now he's drawing up a set of plans for me. So until I have that, I don't have the direction as far as what to do.
You realize that you just understand it doesn't look right that you wait till the morning of the meeting to do anything, really.
Well, again, we had the meeting yesterday and
You missed the last meeting, so you just understand that it doesn't show a lot of effort to try to ease our concerns when you kind of do it. Like it's like cleaning your room when your parents are like driving in the driveway after vacation. It's like,
oh.
Any other comments, questions?
So the bond could be 50,000?
Well,
50%.
you originally, when this was first in front of you, said that you would agree to accept half the bond if they showed progress within 30 days. And in the absence of progress, you then, last meeting, said you wanted the full 100. Again, half of this bond is for road purposes. And again, if you feel that you just want the half that's more or less tied to the wetlands purposes, I understand that. You should again evaluate the track record here and whether you're confident that this is gonna get done properly. So again, if you want to go with F, that is a commission decision. I have concerns, but ultimately I will take whatever the commission, wants to give me for a bond.
You know, we're not fly by nights. We've had issues with the project, like I said. We just built a $10 million project on Lord's Meadow Lane and finished it, sold all the houses there. And now we're gonna be doing another $10-12 million on this one in Old Line. So I don't know what else, we're not running away. We have a lot of money invested in this. And it's a hardship right now.
Looking at the photos, I'm happy that there's some green finally on the site, having never seen green before. And I have to go really with what Eric is telling us because he was there. This might be a site to look at again as a commission before we do anything radical, I think. I'd just like to see the site again. And since it's August 5th, and this is what, the 22nd, the permittee has a lot of time to clean, address some of the issues that the staff has raised. Even though it is the last minute today, I tend to try and work with the applicant short of court. So, but I'm happy to see some green. I just don't have a feel for how much green there is on this whole site. Eric has a better feeling for it, and his report doesn't give me a lot of confidence, unfortunately.
I guess I concur with what you're saying. And what you're getting at before is good faith, right? There hasn't been a lot of good faith on this.
There hasn't been a lot of money.
Well, no, showing up doesn't cost you any money.
That was a mistake.
That's happened twice. You weren't at the last meeting either, I don't think.
No, I was here.
Yeah. So it just doesn't seem like there's been a lot of.
Well,
I think you can understand our perspective on that.
I do. But I missed the one meeting, but it's.
You also missed the show cause here.
Yeah,
correct.
And the site meetings.
Correct. So
maybe
it's not one time, it's multiple times. And so I guess I agree with you.
Understanding on my part. So.
Okay.
I agree. I apologize.
But I guess to Mike's point though, we've got an open slot on that fifth.
Yes.
Because one is not being used. Can we use that to go by there?
Well, I mean, that would only be 15 minutes at the beginning. I would suggest that maybe you want to do this at 6:30 and that way you've got, as long as we take time to do it, doing it in 15 minutes probably doesn't do it justice.
No.
Yeah, that's fine.
At the end, I would recommend.
So let's aim for 6:30 on August 5th then, is that?
And you've got time to do stuff. I mean, you've talked to the engineer, maybe Rick will have some plan or something, and you can do the stuff that's relatively easy to do.
Can I talk about this a little bit? So, because the last time we had the meeting, I didn't have any permission to talk from them.
Yeah.
So since that meeting, there was no grass there at that time, and I think you guys have seen the progression from then till now. And I went back and expressed my concerns and what direction they're headed, which wasn't a great direction. So we took charge of that site and redirected the water, stabilized the surface. And then got the town's involvement, as he said today. And defend and understand what you guys are coming from. When he got the word today, we did the work today. So when he got from, basically when they said today, we went today. So we're proactive based on the information that's provided. And I do get your point of not showing up in the past. And that's where I felt like I needed to discuss with you, what we're doing up there. I mean, we've turned that water around from, the last meeting to current, we turn it around. There's nothing going in the wetlands at this point. Everything's has to go through some type of grass and lawn, and it's back graded and it's going into the temporary swales until the upgrade gets established and the houses get financed and finished.
Right.
And start getting the landscaping in them and finishing. You gotta finish around each one of those houses, but I think we've got it. We've got a good solid hold on it. There's gonna be no blowouts from here moving forward. But I encourage you to go look at it. I think if you went up there, Tommy, I think if you went up there and you looked around, you'd
That's
feel,
that's the plan to go on.
yeah, you'd
Fifth at 6:30, so.
you'd feel
we'll
pretty
see.
comfortable about what you saw from 30 days ago to current. We're only a month, we grabbed that grass by, seconds, but it's dug in and it's happy and you're gonna mow it, maintain it, so you.
Yeah, we mowed some today.
Yeah, so it wanna stay there. It's in the shade, so it should dig in pretty good and give good protection to the wetlands.
Is there a clear list as to what needs to be done?
There are several lists.
I
There
know.
is the actual order that was issued by this commission after the show cause hearing. There is a list of issues that was presented by Jacobson after their May 25th site walk. There was an earlier list prepared by Jacobson after an earlier site walk. All of those are obviously available to the applicant, and I can make them available again to the commission so they can get a list before the site walk of what should be.
Are you guys clear on what needs to be done?
Every bit of information I got, we installed today. So
That's
I don't think there's anything in writing. That's the only.
well, there is a list and Eric mentioned some of them, it's like cleaning the catch basins. We're still working on them. It's like I got dirt in the catch basin. I know I gotta clean.
I understand that, but it has been 2 months, and
But then I'm not finished with the job. So
I understand that,
The
but
goal should be no new material going into those catch basins, and therefore, if you clean them out and you clean out your pond and you prevent new material from going in, you won't have to clean them out again. The goal is silt sacks that you clean out regularly or replace regularly, which you weren't doing before. The goal is to make sure that you are preventing new material from going in so that it's a clean system. Right now, the whole system is filled with dirt, and that's a problem, and it should be resolved. Again, that's why we're asking for the erosion control law.
and I just to that point, just the lack of work in the last 2 months and the lack of effort that we've seen, I'm not convinced to lower the bond at this point. You yourself have said you've had trouble with this project in the past. Now you're needing refinancing. I'm feeling like, what if we're left in the lurch to remediate this property on behalf of the taxpayers of the town of Old Lyme? It's great that you put in a development in Lord's Meadow, and it was a valuable investment for you, I would hope.
and for the town.
And for the town. But, there's been issues in both projects, and the taxpayers of Old Lyme shouldn't be left carrying the bill at the end of the day to remediate this property if all of a sudden you lose your financing because of another press event. And now we have to clean up the entire project for something that you haven't been maintaining. So I would not be in favor of lowering the bond on this.
I have one other question and point to make. I understand there's discussion regarding a buffer of 20 feet. My recommendation would be to have that depicted on a map and have a conservation easement drawn up.
Mhm.
Then I'm not sure if that's already been discussed, but it's a fairly straightforward process.
That's fine.
But that would formalize it, and then it would be in the deed.
That's for one of the lots that we
That's
regulated.
Sharon. That's the one you
Yeah,
guys
Sharon.
wanted the as-built, or at least the foundation location shown. And again, between that and the wetlands, a formalized 20-foot buffer that would be essentially permanent and prevent anything between the house and the wetlands.
I'm a big
It would
fan
require placards and
I'm a big fan of delineating that buffer with like a stone wall or a
Whatever,
split rail
I'll let
fence.
the applicant pick how he wants to delineate it, but ultimately, it's gotta be delineated and it has to be noted in the site, on the field rather, and in the deed, both, so that it's clear that it's a permanent restriction on developing on that part of
And
the
it's a
lot.
condition of our permit.
yes.
So do we need to move on anything regarding the bond?
So I don't think you do, other than to set a site walk.
Yeah.
I mean, I would,
Table it till next month.
and just indicate that this will be taken up at the sidewalk on August 5th, 6:30.
I'll make a motion to table this.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? Any abstentions? Seeing none.
Thank you.
Mhm. Thank you.
Thanks.
Eric, you want these pictures or?
Yeah, they're part of the records now, so when you hand them in, we'll make them exhibit.
The next item under old business is item number 7, or sorry, item number 6 for the fee schedule proposal for the inland wetlands and water courses.
If there are people here for 7, we could, because that's an
Okay.
administrative thing, we could do 7 and,
Okay.
I mean, if there's people here rather than,
I'm gonna say that
Let
one
them wait.
last, because if the recording were to glitch out, I don't wanna lose the entire thing.
Got it.
For that one, so I mean, you can move it, but. if
Okay.
you lose the recording.
We're worried that because we're recording on Teams here, if
Ooh,
we're
okay.
putting things on the screen, it might interrupt the Teams recording in some way, shape or form.
okay.
So we're just trying to make sure that if we lose the Teams recording, we only lose the last piece of the meeting, not anything before.
Got it.
So.
Okay, so we'll leave it as it is. Any updates on?
You guys asked for a month to take a look. at the
Yeah,
fees.
that was me, and I have taken a look at the fee schedule. I have some recommendations. But I have a question first with the fee schedule. As it relates to a single family residence. Someone comes in and they're gonna build a house. And the fee, I think, is $100 now, and it's proposed to go to $150. Now, are these cumulative? So if that one house has a crossing of a wetland, do we then add a $200 fee for that first crossing? So it would be $150 plus the $200.
Theoretically, yes, it's cumulative, because obviously the impact of the work would be cumulative.
That's all and when I don't understand how the applicant. I mean, if I was the applicant, I would be very confused when I looked at our application, because the fees are kind of in there and there's a lot of them, and I would assume they sit and talk to
Yeah,
someone.
they will obviously talk to me or Fallon about these fees,
Got it.
but if we want to try and clarify them to make clearer that these fees are cumulative, so people understand that, we can certainly spell that out in greater detail so people understand that.
And that would apply to the subdivisions and commercial as well.
As
They're
well,
added.
absolutely, yes.
Okay. I think it would be important to explain
And
that.
again, the $60 deep fee is also additional fee, so we need to explain how we add up these fees to get to the final number.
Right. I was for jokes, I was gonna go over what the Greenwich Inland Wetlands and Water Courses Agency charges, but I won't. If you're interested, you can look online. And when I was there 25 years ago, we generated around $300,000 to $400,000 of income a year, but they're very busy. But a house might be $2,000 or $4,000. The fees have gone crazy since I left. But okay, getting back to the fee schedules, I would recommend on the residential lot, we sort of have this matrix. Pools, sheds, decks, we recommend it going from 75 to 125. I'd recommend 150 because we visit the site, at least the staff visits the site with us usually for a site visit, unless it's really, really simple. And then Eric has to go back at the end. And I would think, $75 a visit isn't a lot today. So I would recommend that we would increase that. The same with a house, because it's additive though, okay? If you're building a house and there's a crossing, I would recommend a house fee a house is a substantial structure, hundreds of thousands of dollars probably, if not $1 million. $250 doesn't seem to be out of bounds because, again, we're visiting the site. And if you take, just the house site to Sharon Lane, unless we had some sort of compliance fee when we start to have trouble with a particular permitted site where we could charge a $75 fee per compliance visit, it wouldn't affect 90% of our folks, but the folks that we have difficulty with, I think would help cover our staff costs. And if we did have a compliance fee, I would suggest $75 a visit. On the subdivisions, although I haven't seen a subdivision, I don't think. A lot of times the fee is related to the number of lots in a subdivision. We don't have that.
We did the subdivision on Button Ball.
Button Ball.
Remember down by the golf course?
Button Ball on the corner there.
What was I don't remember visiting that site.
You were there. You were
Was I?
there. I think
Okay.
your wife was there too, actually.
I visit it once a month to make sure the silt fencing is in place, so.
Okay, I mean, but I thought a per lot fee would be interesting. And, I mean, this is sort of a subdivision. It started out as a subdivision. It looks like we issued a permit for the roadway, Sharon Lane, and look at the mess we have here. So there ought to be something that helps us collect compliance fees when we have trouble on a site. I don't know how to do that.
The way we have done subdivisions in the past is we approve the subdivision as one application, but then we make them come back for individual wetlands permits for each lot that involves
Right.
wetlands activity. So for instance, if you look on the agenda tonight, 16 Neck is the subdivision approval,
Right.
while 2 Sharon is the lot approval, and they're 2 separate approvals.
Yep.
So I think you need to sort of factor in that already for this application, we collected 1 fee for the subdivision and 1 fee for the lot, so that we're already sort of collecting twice for that. And I admit, it doesn't cover our costs.
Yeah.
But just keep in mind that on those sorts of situations, we already have 2 rounds of application fees coming in.
Well, one thing you could do is if it's a subdivision of up to 5 lots, it's a fee. If it's a subdivision of X lots, it's a larger fee. Because I think that's where you would run into, more extensive work if it's a 30 lot subdivision versus a 3 lot subdivision. So I don't know if that makes sense, but.
Well, it was a thought, and I didn't, I mean, there's nothing that says we can't modify this in the future. These are just some thoughts that I had. On the commercial, industrial, the activity fee for review of commercial activities, it's cumulative. So there's a $250 fee now. I would double it to $500. Just because I tend to think those sites are going to be more complex and require more visits. And then, if they're wet, and then you'd have the supplemental fee, which would collect, but I would still have some sort of generalized compliance fee that would apply to, not only single family residences, but subdivisions and commercial. And it wouldn't be a lot. Then the only other thing I noticed, and I like the new application form. And it's changed a little bit compared to our existing one, because the existing one was confusing to me the first time I saw it, because it sort of starts out and then our fee structure is there. I would recommend we pull the fee structure and just have the fees separate and attached, especially since the applicant isn't going to be figuring them out. Staff is going to be doing it. So it's not as critical to be there. And so what sort of happens then is we almost have, with the new format, a mini checklist. Okay, which is really, I think, important for the applicant to know what type of information we need to add. And it seems to comply with section 7 of our regs that talks about what you put in an application. The only thing I would add to application requirements at this stage is we need to cite that we need a completed DEP reporting form. It's required by our regulations. We sometimes get it and sometimes we don't. That goes with the $60 fee that we charge. So we should get the form you know, whether or not we send the form to DEP and they do anything with it, I wouldn't ask that question. The only other thing on the site plan or GIS map that we request kind of in the checklist, the new application check, what I'm calling the application checklist, is that when they provided us with the town's GIS map, and it's easy to print, use the wetland layer.
So would you be open to redlining or like making?
I will.
changes
I'll come
on
into the
this?
office
And
and
then that.
go
can
with
be
my notes.
Distributed to the commission before the next meeting.
Yeah.
So we can all kind of see it, because I know some people can hear something and understand it. Other people are more visual. So I think.
I don't think anything is really radical, except maybe the compliance fee on troublesome sites.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. I think we should cover the costs that the town is incurring on behalf of these private property owners that are looking to get work done, so.
But I'll put that together and get it to Eric.
How much is the reporting, like the advertising?
How much are we spending on advertising most of these applications? Because we're not doing public hearings and it's usually just a legal notice of decision. I would say, my fellow employees better than I did, most of these are $300 or so for legal notice, but again, it's for all of your decisions at once.
Okay.
It depends on the length of them. Sometimes they're like 150, but there's 5 approvals. It'll be like up to $300.
Okay. Do we want to try to
Cover that.
catch that in there?
Yeah,
I mean, I realize it's going to be kind of an average of.
it's going to be sort of, again, an average. And again, some of that's sort of in what you're looking at here. And that's why the fees are going up, because the legal notice numbers are going up. Again, were we to be doing legal notices for public hearings, which we don't do often, I think we want to catch that one in there. But if it's legal notice of decision, it's probably only at this point $50, $60 per application at this point, which is not a huge number. I think we're trying to capture that as part of our increased numbers.
I mean, I would be in favor of even going just a little bit over, because I know we're not gonna update this every year as the print
The cost of
media.
living adjustment
Yeah,
is
exactly.
year.
So maybe just capture that, for a 5-10 year period.
Have these fees been in
Those fees have been enforced for many years.
many years? Okay, so I don't feel bad about doubling.
Probably when I was born. Sorry.
Well, I recognize that we're not going to generate huge amounts of dollars, but when Eric goes to defend our budget,
Yeah.
it would be nice to say, instead, if we earn $8,000 instead of $4,000.
Right, I agree, and I think, just for the taxpayers of Old Lyme to see that we're actually covering our costs with what we're
Trying
taking
to.
in, and we're not going into a deficit for anything. And then when we have to have our lovely attorney here to help us out, we're covered in that.
There's a buffer,
Yes, exactly.
double those fees.
Perfect. Okay, so that seems like good action items for the next month. Thank you, Michael.
Okay.
Any other discussions before I move on? All right, moving on to item number 7, which is 308-1 Mile Creek Road for a violation status update.
Did we want to
sorry.
accept the application? Yeah.
Yeah, we did receive a new application today from Ron that we can accept into the record at this meeting.
Do you want to do this? That way we don't. Or we do this, or we don't. do this?
So I'll make a motion to add a new application for 308-1 Mile Creek Road to the agenda, which has been given to the.
Oh, you got
council
it
today.
I brought you extras.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
I don't know if everybody's paying attention.
You guys, I made a motion to accept this application. No, it's okay, to accept the application into the record for today so we can discuss it. Is everyone in favor of that? Seeing everyone saying, yes, oh, thank you. I was just gonna share with Tom.
Brought you extras.
You have one, Eric?
And someone down the,
Seen earlier today.
someone down the table has the original. So just look for a wet ink signature on yours and don't take
I'm
it.
gonna start small. Start small.
Who has the black clip?
Black kid clip at the end there.
let me swap out.
Original.
Who has the
You have the black clip?
Yeah, all the way at the end there.
Oh, that's silver.
That's you. So that's the original.
Okay, so we'll swap out.
Good call. See that?
Yeah.
I'll pass my signature out.
Todd's used to black.
Original.
I don't know about black clips.
So, Ron Swaney for the record. Bringing this application in, I think the last time you guys were on site, you probably noticed on the left-hand side, the elevation of the water in that left pond. And you'll see in the photos, where the, beaver plugged the pipe. The pipes weren't, in the best of condition to start with. But if you go into number 6, and you'll see where the beavers plugged the pipe, and then the water had come around the outside of the pipe, carving a trench over 4 feet, almost 5 feet wide, dumping the water from actually all 3 ponds. It's roughly about 2.5 to 3 feet of water in total. As the time goes on, the trench is going to get deeper. And, there is some ledge there. So fortunately, the ledge is holding it back. The balance of the water that was in there. If you continue, you'll see these are photos were taken in May 31st. If you go to the, you'll see 4/15 today, that photo, it's number 7 of the 9 photos. That beaver has created a 2-foot tall berm, and he's working on it daily. I'm not taking it out only because it's allowing the water to stay in the pond. And actually, it's probably better than worse at this point for the turtles. And we do see less turtle activity. I think it's because of the temperature of the water, because it was so low. A lot of animals aren't in there currently this year. It doesn't seem like that have been in the past because of the elevation. What I'm proposing is to upgrade the 2 pipes, something more permanent. The pipes that are currently there, I did a design flow on those, and then I did a redesign flow on the pipes that I'm proposing. They're 29% larger volume wise, but they'll still maintain the elevation of the water in the ponds, maintaining it. In addition to that, with the head wall, there would be 2 sliding grates that would go down in front of those pipes, so that when I go out on the head wall, I could actually pull that grate up, clear the debris, and then drop the grate back down. Much safer, cleaner, seasonal. I don't think we're going to beat the beavers. I just don't. As we hear around town and everything, we trap them yearly. We've been doing it for 10 years. We haven't got them out of there yet. And that would be a great idea, but I don't think it's happening anytime soon. So I think by building this head wall, the 2 pipes, and then as an overflow, let that water, if it was to exceed those 2 pipes, it would go through a pretty typical riprap run, outlet over the top of them, and allow any excess water to go over. But the whole purpose of this is just to maintain the water that's in those ponds. I mean, there's no other value there. It's rainwater. It's where the turtles and the birds live. So unfortunately, it got compromised, and it needs to be either gets restored or we let the beaver do his thing. And I have a feeling that a good fall storm or spring storm will take that beaver's dam out, and we'll be back down to 0. So I just feel like this is a good fix, fairly inexpensive. My cost is roughly about $12,000. I feel it'll take about 1 day. The head wall would be built off site. The trench is wider than the head wall. If you look at the trench previously, it was substantially smaller. But now that the water's washing down through there, it's opening it up wider and wider. So ultimately, I'd like to reset the head wall, put the soil back to where it was. And then any water additionally from that would go over top of that head wall and stay in the trench as it had been in the past. Yeah, and you can see that opening in those photos of how wide that trench was, and then how wide it is now. Those pipes are only about 8 feet apart currently, or probably not even that far apart currently. If you look at page 4 and 9, you can see where it washed out along the side, and it's taken the sand and gravel and washing it into that pond in the back. That's that would be current conditions, but the Beaver Dam is stockpiling the water in the pond right now. So as long as that beaver dam stays in there, and it's not a beaver house, it's just a beaver dam. That's not where they're living. They're actually living farther back in the pond. So they're trying to get the water up so that they have their protection. But once that water, they get to the top of their water, it's just trickling right now, but we're off season. We get any significant rain, it could probably take that beaver dam out, and it's just going to continue to wash that silt into that pond, as you can see in page 4 or 9.
Mr. Sweeney did provide this electronically to me at 8:30 this morning. With his consent, I forwarded it to Jacobson's office to get a fee estimate from Jacobson that Mr. Sweeney has agreed to cover for review of this application. Given the nature of both the site and the sort of activity proposed and the fact that it's literally in the water course, it seemed like something that an engineer should be reviewing for your agency. So again, I did send that out 8:30 this morning I have Aaron Mortensen. I have not heard back, not shockingly, but when that does come back, I will forward that on to Mr. Sweeney, and we will have that reviewed in time for your next meeting.
Could we locate, I'm confused as to where this is. I know where the 3 ponds are, but could we locate it on big map?
Absolutely.
So it is on here. I provided this at every one of them.
I don't know necessarily where that is.
Sure, let me help you with that.
We can make sure that you could be locate this on a survey that you already have.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys understand where this is.
But just for us conversation wise,
Right.
this is the current culvert pipe,
Okay.
right? And then it's right to the left of that. There's
And
an
Michael,
outlet.
just-
So
okay.
as you come over that culvert pipe, it's right there to the left.
Orient you a little bit here. When you go
That's
sort
the
of
bottom.
over the
downstream
existing
bottom.
culvert, there was sort of this area where you could walk further to your left
Yep.
there.
Yep.
If you walked down that area to your right is where this is, and that's where it's been washed out, and that's where he's proposing to put in this work.
So those 3 ponds kind
The
of.
3 ponds go down towards where that area is.
Downstream pond.
Yeah, this is downstream from those 3 ponds. And again, if you walk out, I've seen you walk out that portion there to the left. And again, to your right as you walk through there, and we'll get you a map that shows this.
I remember you pulled me back.
I did, because you were not staying with the group. So that's why I specifically remember where you were. But anyway, so
So now you can wander.
Now you can go.
I gave you permission now. I want you to wander.
So that is that application. And then the other piece of this, and again, if you want to set that for site walk or whatever you want to do, that's up to you folks. But that is the new application. On the agenda is the existing matter from your previous order. I was out there yesterday morning at Mr. Sweeney's request. My understanding is I asked him, should I take some pictures? Since this is theoretically my report, he said, no, you'll be bringing pictures. Does it have pictures? This was not done when I was there yesterday. This was done apparently
This morning. Yeah.
So this is the scraping of.
So what that first picture showing is the reclaim removed. So that's the existing sandy gravel driveway that
Millings?
Millings, yeah.
Okay.
And then that's the 1.25 inch. It's like rounds. It's not really trap rock. It's more rounds. I figured it'll get less traction. Maybe the water will go through it better. But that's the 2 inches of the 1.25 inch. It basically stops at probably 10 feet from the pipe because that's where the reclaim ended. And it's side to side and it covers the whole road from the gate all the way in.
Sorry to change the subject. Did we want to set a site walk for the pipe stuff? So we didn't do that.
It wasn't, I don't know, you haven't done it yet, so.
No, did we want to set a site walk?
Want to, yeah.
Before we.
Just before I forget, and we.
Yeah.
I don't know, we can either do it after Sharon, or we can try to fit it before Boston Post Road. I don't know if we can see everything in 15 minutes or not.
Well, this particular application is for the very narrow issue of the culvert. So the culvert you can probably see in 15 minutes, and it's just in one specific location.
So we want to switch that one back. We want to
Do that.
fill that 5:31, put that back in. This is 5:30 on the 5th.
Sure.
To look at that culvert.
Yeah.
And we'll potentially have some engineering by next.
Yeah, I'm hoping you will have an engineering report by the next meeting for August.
Adequate in size or design or.
We'll have to wait and see what it says, but yeah, I mean, the goal is to see that it works as designed, and we'll do what Mr. Swain says it will do, and will not cause undue damage to the wetlands or whatever else. So, I sent it to Mr. Mortensen this morning at 8:30. As soon as I hear back from him, I will make sure we have something in time for next meeting, okay?
Thanks, sorry about that.
Eric, if he has any questions on the existing pipes that are there.
I'll have him talk to you.
Yeah, just have him give me a shot. Yeah, be happy to.
Again, first issue is let's get a fee estimate from him. Second is I will have him talk to you as frequently as he needs to and get out there if he needs to, just to see what's going on.
Great, thank you. So this that's the finished product as far as the driveway goes. I broke them up into the 3 locations that we talked about: the driveway, the removal of the berm. So I think the next is the berm. Oh, that's the pond. That's the before and after. So there's the rocks removed. If you look at the previous photo, the rocks are there. So that's removed. That silk, what do you call that fence? Turbidity curtain worked awesome. I got complete video of the removal. Nothing went in that pipe. There was clear discharge the entire time. As a matter of fact, it's still in there because I'm not happy with the way it settled right yet. So as soon as it's settled, then we'll consider removing that. But until then, we leave it in place. That's before. That's what the berm looked like before. You've seen that. And now the berm is gone. There's hay bale there. It's seeded and hay in front of the hay bale. The hay bale goes all the way up to the vegetation. So if you're standing at the hay bale looking at the backside, the vegetation is as closest to that hay bale it can get. Hay bale is staked down. Every one of those have 1 stakes where there's potential of water coming through, like a low point. We double stake the hay bale, so we make sure it wouldn't come out. Basically, as you can see, that's finished. So we were able to keep vegetation front and back. The only spot we lost the vegetation is where the berm was itself, and a little bit in the road where we drove on it. All the material went to the back. It's in a corner. It's wood chips and topsoil. So I'm sure it'll be grass and weeds at some point. I'm just looking to get this behind us so we can hopefully, move forward on bigger and better things.
And just to confirm, when I was out there yesterday, I did see the boulders had been removed, the turbidity fence was in place. Did see the hay bales that were staked. When I was there, he was going, he had somebody who was putting down the cane over the seated area on this side of it. The hay bale, at this point, sort of back to the commission a little bit on, I am satisfied with the work as has been performed here. The order remains in place, the litigation remains in place, and again, we have that to sell here this evening. I don't know what your thoughts are regarding the order and the litigation. But again, you've seen the work, and I can certainly go back out and verify it in a couple of weeks to make sure that it's still in good condition. But this is obviously was a big deal for the commission, and I want you to have the opportunity to review it and comment on it before I take any further action.
There was some wetlands restoration on the plan, correct? Wasn't there a couple of places to
Yes.
restore wetlands?
Well, I can take a look at the order and see what that looks like.
I would ultimately like to use the site at some point, maybe not right now, because we're gonna be focused on this, in 15 minutes.
Sure.
The smaller culvert, but I mean, because it's taken so much of this commission's time that I think a final visit for those of us that would like to see it would be good before we decide what we're gonna do.
Again, this has been a large matter for the commission, so I certainly understand your desire to go out there and see it with your own eyes before you.
And it'd be great if like all the weeds are up,
Well, we'll see how we do. We'll see how the weather holds and all the rest of it.
where you could put a meadow mix down. I don't know if you use that kind of seed mix.
Based on the, what you see there,
It's
that
probably just what's there.
vegetation's coming back. Because that was never planted at all anyway. So once we got the stop, we stopped. So all that growth that you see there, none of that was seeded. That was all original plant material that just naturally grew back. And I have full confidence it's going to do it again. We didn't take anything out that wasn't already there. And we kept as much on that when we would remove the rocks. You could see there's still vegetation on them shoulders. I did the best I can to bring the loader in front of the rocks and roll the rocks up in the loader bucket to keep all that vegetation stable as I could on the banks.
We have a suggestion, obviously you have your sidewalk set for this month, and why don't we give time to sort of grow in and all the rest of it there? So why do you anticipate at your August meeting setting this sidewalk after your August meeting?
Yeah. Do a compliance checklist.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a little report from you, Eric, saying, because you visited the site and spend more time, but this has been done, this has been done
I
when
will
we go
back
out.
there with your order, and I will walk the entire site with your order and make sure we're ready to go.
We're on the same, yeah,
Okay.
because I don't want to surprise Mr. Cheney with anything. Just, yeah,
I'm inviting you back. I have nothing to worry about.
I got my boots.
It's pretty dry out there now. Yep.
No, at this point, there's nothing for, you're not taking any further action tonight. I mean, we'll pick it back up again in a month. Okay.
My only comment on one other thing was you were talking about the fee structure. So you guys don't have to go back to this fee structure. Just make a 3% per year. Then you never go back.
Then you get some funny math too, though.
This way here, you know,
75.87 cents.
make some structure that you guys don't have to revisit it. And then you keep up with the times rather than fall behind. And then in 10 years, you're playing catch up. You already missed the dollars you could add every year. I do it with tenants.
Yeah.
It's very effective. Big numbers over time. And then you guys don't have to look at it.
Well, thank you for the update, for the pictures. And
Thank you for your
look
time.
forward to being there again.
Yes.
All right. Thanks again.
Have a good night.
You too.
All right.
Take care.
Moving on to item number 8, which is reading and approval of the minutes for June 24th, 2025, the regular meeting. Does anybody have any changes to make to that? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
I'll second.
Thanks, Tom. All those in favor?
Hi.
Any objections or abstentions? Oh, thank you. Okay. All right, one abstention, and then so that passes. Then for the special meeting site walk, I'm gonna abstain from that since it's not there. So Tom, do you want to take?
I'll make a
away?
motion to approve the special meeting sidewalk. Second. All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Good to go. Anything else for the good of the order before I make a motion to adjourn?
I was surprised about the green at Sharon Lane.
Fair.
I saw them mowing it today. Literally, I saw guys out there mowing.
I didn't think the report was even gonna be that good.
Almost drove off the road.
I'm not sure it's good.
I saw a guy with a mower.
Out in a couple weeks.
Right.
They've got an opportunity to clean the damn basins.
Motion to adjourn. Seconded. Everyone loves it. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.